You should definitely know about Stool land if you're looking to include land investment in your portfolio. Around 80% of all the land in Ghana is Stool land, so yes, it's a big deal. What exactly is Stool land? So in Ghana, the chieftaincy stool is seen as more than just a symbol of the chief's authority and power. It's also viewed as a representation of the land, hence the name Stool land. It refers to the land that is owned and controlled by a particular chieftaincy or royal lineage. It's held in trust by the chief for the benefit of the community, and the chief is responsible for allocating the land to members of the community for various purposes such as farming, housing, and commerce. Now, Stool land is governed by customary law, which is administered by the chief and his council of elders. Customary law governing the Stool land is recognized by the state, and they use it to resolve dispute over land ownership and its use. In some cultures, the stool is believed to have been given to the community by their ancestors as a symbol of ownership to the land and their right to use it. Chieftaincy stool is also a reminder of the community's history and cultural heritage. Now, there's that of the stool, which is usually represented by this and used in the southern parts of Ghana, whilst the skin refers to this, which is used in the northern parts of Ghana. So usually you'd hear stool or skin land. Because of these beliefs, the chieftaincy stool and skin are treated with great respect and reverence, and it's a key part of the cultural identity of the people of Ghana. Okay, so if you're planning on buying land outside of Accra, the capital city, it's really important you understand how stool land works. And no, this doesn't mean that stool land doesn't exist in Accra. It's just that your chances of encountering stool land outside of Accra are extremely high. Besides, a notable stool in Accra is the Osu stool. So one of the really cool things about stool land is that you can run a search at the Lands Commission and find out if the property has been registered. And if it hasn't been registered, you can actually figure out who the owner of the land is and buy it from them. You definitely want to make sure you're doing this the right way. You don't want to end up with land that's already been sold or in the wrong location. Typically, it's easy to figure out who the land belongs to. You first have to identify who the chief of the traditional area is, and you can follow up from there. That's pretty much a good start. Now, to avoid any issues, it's important to be diligent and follow the necessary steps to make sure that you're acquiring the property in a legitimate way and a secure manner. Now, one of the best ways to go about this is to work with a reputable professional, like a lawyer or a real estate agent, who can guide you through the process and give you expert advice. It's also a good idea to do your own research and due diligence. Make sure you fully understand the property you're interested in, including the location, its ownership history, and any potential problems that could arise. This means that you thoroughly have to research the land and the local community to make sure you're dealing with a legitimate representative of the area. You would also want to familiarize yourself with the fair market value of the land in the region and seek advice from those who have experience in buying and selling land in the area. Being cautious and proactive can help you minimize the risk of running into problems when buying stool land. Now, one challenging aspect of stool land is that there is no established process for determining the price for renewing a lease at its expiration. In contrast, for government land, the Land Valuation Division conducts an inspection and produces a valuation report to determine the price of renewal. However, this process doesn't exist for stool land. If you're Ghanaian and you're considering purchasing stool land, it's advisable to negotiate a 99-year lease upfront in order to minimize the need for renewal in your lifetime. However, if you're a foreigner, some of these laws may apply differently. You may not be entitled to the same privileges as a Ghanaian, meaning you will not have access to 99 years, but 50 years. And just a quick tip. If you're thinking about renewing your lease, it's a good idea to start talking with your landlord about 10 to 15 years before it's set to expire. That way, you can have more leverage in the negotiation process and potentially score yourself a better deal. Now, if you wait until it's close to the expiration, you may be faced with negotiations starting at or even above market price for both the land and also what's been built up on it. To avoid this, it's just best that you proactively address the issue of renewal well in advance. Oh, and by the way, this is just a heads up. Sometimes there can be conflicts over lease renewals, and some folks have gone as far as tearing down the buildings rather than giving it up to the landowner when the lease is out. So it's not all honey and roses, but it can actually be a pretty sweet opportunity with the potential for value appreciation through the registration process and obtaining a land title certificate. By taking these steps, you increase your chances of success and maximize the potential upside for your investment in stool land. So whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, investing in stool land in Ghana can be a great opportunity and provide you a significant upside. If you found any value in this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips and insights. Don't forget to stay tuned for our upcoming video on family land. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.